This is the Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 meeting of the Fire Station Building Committee. We're meeting in room 120 of Town Hall, also available via Zoom. I'll call the meeting to order. We do have one member who is remote, so I'll take roll call attendance. Todd Lindmark. Here. Chris Baker. Here. Justin Casanova Davis.
Here.
Kevin Champagne here. All right. First agenda item is public comment.
Donna Jones. Is there an option for anything being discarded to be available to the public for a donation or
I think
raffle? Or
might need to be a little more specific of what you're looking for, but if there's certain things that are being gotten rid of, then we could run that through the town, but obviously it's town property, so it'd be their call. So
I didn't know the reverse procurement procedure. Sometimes you need a vehicle or something, you need to put it on a website, stuff like that. I didn't know if this is just a bulldoze it, carry it all away, or if it is a.
So the general contractor, as part of his demolition, owns getting rid of everything. So, if it's basically part of their bid. If they saw anything like copper piping or anything like that within the building that they wanted to salvage, then they own the salvage rights, because they can't get any extra money for the demo, and we can't, basically start taking things away that they may have seen as value when they walk through.
But in regards to furniture and equipment, FF&E type of things, there is a procedure that the town has to go through before they can essentially throw things in a dumpster, and that is an advertisement. We have talked about that at the meetings, but we've also asked whether if there was any contents left in the building, not piping or anything like that, but furniture and stuff, whether that would impact the demolition. But Don is right, there is a procedure.
Thank you.
Right. Steve, I'll hand it over to you for the OPM report.
Okay. Hold on one second. Okay, are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. The OPM report for August 14th. Progress since our last meeting, which was on July 10th. Installation of MEP and FP finishes have been ongoing throughout. Automatic temperature controls and programming is ongoing. HVAC equipment startups are ongoing. Plumbing fixtures are ongoing. Installation of plumbing fixtures is nearly complete at this point. Painting of the interior and exterior. Exteriors is essentially done. They're doing touch-ups and sort of into their own punch list right now with interior painting. Ceiling tiles are complete. Epoxy flooring in the apparatus bay is complete. Carpet tiles, stair treads, sports floor, and VCT flooring are nearly complete. Millwork and casework is ongoing. Building specialties have been installed. That's like fire extinguisher cabinets, the fire pole, AED cabinets, toilet accessories, those type of things sort of lump into that building specialties. The storefront entries were installed. Lightning protection, the rework was completed. Above ceiling work was inspected and approved. Site work was restarted for drainage and preparation for the transition of the move-in. Station alerting system installation is ongoing. That's an owner, a contractor. Audiovisual installation, rough and finish, rough right now. Finished will be coming back. Both of those subs have confirmed they will be done by the end of the month. And on the 8th and 9th, the furniture was installed. So some photo documentation. These are all new photos as of yesterday. This is, as we know, the front, north front elevation of the fire station. They have reconfigured the fencing, and I've got another photo that will show it a little bit more clearly. They reconfigured the construction fencing so that now the 3 apparatus bay doors that you're looking at will be the ones that are used initially for the move-in while phase 2 is being worked on. So that area is going to be open for not only the fire department, but the public access will temporarily be using the door on the far right, because the actual front entry is in the phase 2 area facing the building, and we can't have anybody using it during the demolition or the site work, because our asphalt and our concrete apron stops here because of the phase 2 construction. Next slide is 2 photos of the training room. You see how we've got tables and chairs, the carpet's done, the ceiling's done. This is facing east, and then the photo on the right is facing north. That's the line of casework and sink as you come into the training room on the left-hand side. Next 2 photos, one on the left. This is the brick column that the fire department staff salvaged brick from the original building, and Castagna, actually the site superintendent Don, put that laid that brick up in the corner. This is the corner of the training room, just outside the chair storage. So that's a little tribute to the original building. And then we have some salvaged older plaques that are going to be also installed in the training room. We just haven't determined exactly where, because we're also looking at putting murals in that room. Photo on the right is a view of the lobby from the training room entrance. It's got the high ceiling, the pendant fixtures, the elevators here, and this is the storefront or entry door into the stair number 1. And beyond that, you can see the apparatus bay. Next slide is just 2 views of the apparatus bay. The one review on the left is facing west. The one on the right is facing north. Just showing the last few photos we've shown, it's been pretty packed with materials. They've cleaned the apparatus bay out tremendously, and then the flooring guys come in and install the yellow striping. Next photo is this is the view of stair 1. This is goes from the lobby on the first floor up to the admin offices on the second floor. We've got the stair treads in, the carpet in, all the protective paper has been taken off the railings. The walls have been painted. Next slide is just progress on the turnout gear room. We did make some changes. There's some additional locker bays coming in. So what they've done now is, and they're in the center. So what they've done is they've installed the ones that are attached to the wall. There's obviously more work going to happen in that room. We also are still working on startup of that air handler number 2, which is right where my pointer is, hanging from the ceiling. So I got to keep it clear. Next photo is a view of the dining room, and dining facing the kitchen in the background. Flooring is in. You can see that there's still some furniture that needs to be set in place, but it's up on the second floor, and there's work going on in the kitchen for the installation of the appliances and the sinks and plumbing fixtures. This is a little bit more closer view of the kitchen itself. There's a kitchen island. There the different shift cubbies that there will be a door on each one of those. And you can see on the photo on the right, you've got one of there's double range there, or double ovens next to each other, the island, and one of the guys is working on the hood. Next slide is just a typical view of a dorm room. There's essentially a twin bed, a nightstand, and then there's a small desk in each one. The next slide is essentially two photos, left side, right side, of what the fire department called the war room. For there's 4 desk units for as workstations, and then cabinetry and countertops on the lateral files to provide working surfaces. Next photo is Deputy Chief's office, the upper corner of the second floor. Next slide is the chief's office, couple views, one of his desk, and then another view from his desk facing towards the door. Deputy Chief's office is this door right in the where my pointer is. And then we go right to the admin area that's between their 2 offices. This is just showing the desk as we're facing north. And then this is what the admin is going to see sitting at their desk. You've got that stair one coming up from the lobby, and then there's a storefront and a single door closing off that stairwell from the second floor corridor. Again, painting, carpeting, ceilings are all in. Furniture, punch list was reviewed by Berglund yesterday. For the furniture, there is a list of some items that have to be either corrected or changed out, a couple color problems and seat problems, but that's all being worked out with Hertz Furniture, who was also there along with Doug, and they walked all the rooms. Not a huge list, but a few items. Next slide is Tan's IT or MDF room, which is above the second floor, his main server room, with his racks and the cable management up above. He's been in there starting to do his work, and things are going well. Next slide. This is the day room, view of the day room. I've usually shown a slide of that, but now we have the recliners in, and then the sort of the end tables that will go next to them. Obviously, it's not set up exactly as being used, but that's sort of an idea of what it's going to look like. This next photo is there is an interior window off the day room, which is right here, that looks out onto the apparatus bay below, and also the training mezzanine, which opens up to the apparatus bay. So thought it was an interesting view of what you see out that window. This is a view of the app bay apron as it's going to be for the initial opening of the fire station. This is out one of the second floor dorm windows. As you can see, originally the fencing went all the way across here to the building. They've opened this section up. This is your entrance off of Main Street. The fence is now moved to divide the existing station from the new station where we're stopping the the hard surface and running up to the building. So there's the concrete apron for the 3 overhead doors that are going to be used initially. So any questions on progress in the last month?
Any questions from anyone? No, I think we're good.
So look ahead schedule, we got to complete interior and exterior painting, complete all the flooring and base, complete the millwork casework, install the apparatus bay fans. They're going to finish up the startup of the HVAC equipment and do the testing and balancing of the system, which is going to start on Monday. And then the commissioning, which is scheduled now for the first week of September. We don't need the commissioning done for occupancy, but we do need the testing and balancing report. Elevator, energizing and getting the state inspection. That's slated for the week of the 26th. They're going to continue or finish up the site work drainage and curb, do final cleaning inside, generate the punch list, do owner training, which the electrician has already started and done quite a few of his topics that he needs to do training on. Going to do the attic stock transfer, and then we've in discussions for the various local jurisdiction, local building department inspections, and then the architect and engineer inspections. We do need the affidavits turned into the building department to get a C of O. Also, ongoing in the next couple of weeks, the transfer of the MEC fiber and service, which is sort of a combined owner GC item. We had a meeting today with the MEC, and we're going to follow up with another meeting on either Monday or Tuesday of this coming week. Going to activate the data, fiber, telephone, and cable services, complete the Zetron and AV installation, and do the furniture punch list, which I mentioned earlier. So other items, right now, Castagna is about 85.5% complete through their payment application for payment number 16, which was for June. At this point, they've got July. They have not submitted on July yet, but they are obviously farther along than the 85 at this point. Since our next committee meeting appears that it's going to, at least as of today, land on the 11th of September, we were thinking about having a tour for the committee starting at 4:30 like we did a couple months ago. That's going to be the week that the fire department is moving in. I'm bringing it up to the committee if you want to do that. If not, that's fine. But you pretty much seen in the photos what the interior looks like. It'll, at that point it's really going to be finished. So
yeah, I think it's a good idea, Steve. I don't know if Todd and Chris are interested, but I think it would be good. I mean, the building will be basically wrapped up at that point. So what I'll do is I'll send something out to the committee tonight, just because obviously there's a few people not here.
right. I mean, we can still have it with whoever shows up. That's fine. We did that
Sure.
last time.
You guys do something on September 11th. That's in the morning, though?
It's in the morning, yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think that should work, Steve. So I think we'll plan on that unless you hear from me otherwise.
Okay, that's fine. Then just sort of an update on Mass Save. As we've talked about, they've been in touch with us, or the source, that the project was approved for their zero net energy, deep energy savings program, which is the Path 1. They did submit using their consultant, the Green Engineer, a verification incentive, which is essentially, do I read it, them assisting the town to meet the EUI post occupancy, which would start given the fact that we need to get some bugs out and get the heating portion running, because we really can't right now, would start on essentially the first of the year for a year. The proposal that's been submitted from the green engineer through this program and through the various email distribution is 12,500 for this service. However, Mass Save will reimburse 50% of that cost post occupancy. So the town would give you essentially, you'd pay the 12,500 and then you get 6,250 back through Mass Save. That's the way I understand it. And I think it's something that we may want to discuss and agree to go forward with or not tonight, so that we can get an answer back to them. They did send the proposal back at the end of July. So I mean, we haven't waited too long by any means, because we're not really going to start till the first. But you know, I you know, they have, you know, a certain number of meetings. They do a 2-month review, a 6-month review, and then a 12-month review. And essentially they would be working with the facility staff and the fire department to make sure that, you know, our EUI of 32.87 is being met for the first year, so you could get that additional post occupancy incentive rebate. Ron, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but I think that was sort of my high level synopsis.
It is, and Justin asked for our opinion. I think this is a great thing to do, especially for the first year. It's not a lot of money. You really get sort of a consultant helping you run the building, and it's just going to benefit you in the future.
Yeah, I mean, so do you need a decision today? I guess my preference would be we could push this to the next meeting when we have more people here, but
I mean, with engaging them at the beginning of the year, no, I don't think we need but I think it's good that, you know, everybody that's in attendance can be thinking about, you know,
okay,
what the cost is and what the benefits are, so that we be ready for the next meeting.
yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it seems like pretty short money for the benefit.
Yeah,
But
if you get the 50% back, you know,
right.
that even if it's not, it's a reimbursement, but you know, that they're offering that. So if we do everything right, there shouldn't be any issue with getting that back. So, all right, well, I'll
Is it okay if we let Mass Save know that the intent is to do it? Yeah, I think they're looking for an answer sooner because of scheduling things and just making sure people are aligned. But we can tell them that it was well received and there'll be an official vote next month.
Yes. Yeah, no, Trevor McGee is the Eversource contact that we've been in touch with, and he's been in touch with Justin. So we can get back to him and just say, well, you know, it's well received. We'll finalize it on the 11th.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to proceed, Steve.
Okay. Thank you. And then, so as far as schedule, I sort of alluded to some of this in the updates, but right now, you know, that's I'm sure it's the committee's question as to when are we going to move in and when we're going to be done with phase 1. So phase 1 completion. Right now, it's currently planned for substantial completion on August 30th. You know, however, that there is some conditions that, you know, it's dependent on getting the state elevator inspection, which right now is scheduled for the week of the 26th. Getting the proper startup for AHU 2 and 3 and the programming. Right now, CAM HVAC is doing the startup for AHU 3 this coming Saturday, and AHU 2 will be next week. They have also committed to starting the testing and balancing this coming Monday, because they have other areas that they can start. AHU 1 has been started, so they're gonna work on that while they finish up AHU 2 and 3. So it's good to see that they're overlapping a little bit instead of just waiting for everything to be done, which was sort of what we were hearing a couple of weeks ago. So I think Castagna put a little pressure on them. Punch list inspection that's going to start also Monday. The architect and engineer affidavits would be the following week, as well as the building department and various town approvals for the week of the 26th, working towards getting that substantial completion and, hopefully a TCO, because I don't, because the project isn't done, I'm sure a full CFO wouldn't be issued just because of the site not being complete, which is fully expected. And then the fire department move-in right now is currently planned for the week of the 9th. The MEC cutover, which was scheduled previously for next week, we talked about moving it closer to the move-in date, so there'd be less gap between that cutover and when they're occupying the new station. So we're looking at that being done the week of, I say the 3rd, which is a Tuesday, on because the 2nd's Labor Day. And we've had a number of logistics, they sort of call it the transition logistics or occupancy logistics schedule, discussed at the job meetings to really try and pinpoint certain things as opposed to looking at it from sort of a broadband. I find it useful tool for people to look at specific dates when they need to either start or have something finished. This is a shortened version, but we've got multiple items on this list that we've gone over, and we updated it again today and actually improved some of the items. And that's been, you can see it was our initial meeting had a lot of people at it. We've maintained the distribution list to all the parties necessary. So I don't know if there's any questions on the. Now this is just the phase 1 schedule. They're gonna be rolling into abatement. We have a pre-abatement meeting scheduled for August 28th. Then once we got everybody out and any kind of equipment that needs to be pulled out or whatever is complete, they're going to start abating the existing station and immediately going into demolition, because the abatement and demolition contractor is the same firm. And then they'll move on to finishing up the site work over the next couple months. So,
how long are we anticipating that the whole move takes before they start abatement?
we're giving a week for the move. The movers will be dropping off their packing boxes and so forth, so that the fire department can start packing up file cabinets and so forth. And then one piece of equipment was actually moved today because that had to be moved by the manufacturer, and that, even though it was a little bit earlier than we had planned on moving some of their equipment, it worked out fine that it was done actually today, and there's no impact on the station. So things are starting to go, and if something's a little bit earlier, then earlier is the better.
Any questions on schedule? We're good.
As you know, schedule's always going to move around. It's going to change. It's going to be something that doesn't happen and something that happens early. It's an ever moving target, but at least we give them, there's some kind of outline to we're working towards a specific date for the move.
Has there been any discussion of when phase 2 looks like it'll be complete? Are they still thinking the end of the year, or is some of the site work gonna spill into the spring? Any thoughts on that yet?
Well, I think as far as landscaping is always a tricky one, which will probably fall into spring. We've asked for an updated schedule, and Castani's working on that. He did not have it for today. But I think originally we were going to be complete the end of October. I don't know if they can pick up the time. But it's in their best interest too. I think, one of the big things is once the building is down, what are we going to encounter underground? And we know what we don't want to encounter. So, but we don't know what that building was built on. Everything else around the building, we pretty much know at this point. So that's all I have.
Steve, so I'm giving an update to the select board on Tuesday next week. As far as contingency money, I assume that really hasn't changed. I think we spent 20% of it. Kind of looking at it in the construction contingency. I'm trying to remember what the numbers were. So if you don't have it handy, maybe just shoot me something.
Well, what I'll try and do, and I know you told me you said Tuesday?
So on the 20th.
Tuesday 20th. Okay. What like I mentioned earlier today, I'm working on a full budget update, especially with a bunch of the things that we were doing towards the end of the project here. And Todd was going to get me the AP log or the Muni log. I got your email, Todd. So that way I'll be able to make sure that I didn't miss some small thing that may have been purchased somewhere. And then I'll be able to give you an update for that meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I'll project out to what I think, like sort of like a worst case.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm glad you reminded me.
So on that note, then I'll take the opportunity to remind everybody that Revision Energy reached out to me again. And they obviously just would love to know what your thoughts are about putting some solar on the roof. I told them that you'd have a better handle on things come the end of this year. And they did want to, just remind me anyway, that if you're going to do an RFP, they'd be happy to help you with that. They'd be happy to respond to an RFP. And, they really look forward to working with you. So if that works out that way.
Thank you, Rob. I don't know if we're still in a position yet to do anything on it, but it's good to know they're thinking of us.
Yeah, well, we work with them. Obviously, they bid on a lot of our projects that are trying to be zero net energy. And I think they're actually doing your police station. So, I think they're just kind of like reaching out and making sure none of us forget.
Okay. Any other questions for Ron or Steve from anyone? No. Our only action item of the night is approval of meeting minutes. So Chris, I'll hand it over to you.
I reviewed the minutes from the June 12th and July 10th meetings and had no comments. So I'd like to ask for a motion to approve those.
So June 12th and July 10th. So Justin, I don't know if you were here for either of
I'm
them.
just gonna abstain. Yeah, I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
So moved.
Second. All right. Roll call. I don't know if you need to do a roll call because Justin's
that's
not
right,
going
he's
to vote.
All right, so roll call, but I'll abstain.
Oh, okay. Take a roll call vote.
All right, Kevin Champagne. Aye. Oliver.
Aye.
Justin Casanova Davis.
Abstain.
Chris Baker, aye.
All right, the motion passes. Thank you. Any other items before we adjourn?
Close.
What's that?
That was close.
Yeah.
About closest we probably come.
All right, hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All right, Justin Casanova Davis. Motion to adjourn, Justin.
Oh, yeah, I second. Aye. Oh, does it vote?
We're voting now. Yeah. You said aye.
Sorry. Yeah, aye.
I heard aye. Lee Mark,
Aye.
Chris Baker, Kevin Champagne, aye. All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.